Do you support Donald Trump?
Um, I do, more than the Democrats.
Okay, why
You
so?
know, I do a lot of research on Twitter because, it's the least censored of all of the other platforms. And I was wondering if you have learned about the deep state and, the globalists and all of that, and
Can I just let you
how.
know something real quick? You know Elon Musk, he literally has to censor Grok because Grok starts saying anti-Elon.
Well, how do you know that that's not a not psychological operation? What do they call it? A trick that they play to make you think that they're
No, like
all not
literally, you can see Grok
involved?
making different determinations. Like you had Grok just straight up be pro-Palestine for a while, and then they had to re code it so that it wasn't pro-Palestine.
Parker, but if you do more research, you realize all these people are on the same side.
What
They're
do you
all
mean?
on the same side. All of the people that are in politics, in the high places of politics, it's not by voting that they get there. They have been selected from a long, long time ago.
Okay, well then I have a question. If everyone in politics is selected and it's controlled to that degree, would you say everyone in media is also controlled and selected?
The higher ups, they're all compromised.
Okay, so all
Higher ups.
high up media. Okay, given that I get a lot of viewers and Dean gets a lot of viewers on the internet, are we both selected?
No, but
What?
no, it's not like that.
Why?
You're
Why
not
would? Okay,
selected.
they have full control over social media, over mainstream media, over our society as a whole. Who becomes president? But they just let people have massive platforms on the internet and talk to thousands of people on a daily basis. That makes no sense. They would make it so that like I never have a platform, Dean never has a platform, and they just control whoever is in these certain platforms.
Parker, you don't understand the level of platform I'm talking about. The really, really high level of people, they're all compromised. And if you
I'm
started
sorry,
to,
Dean is up there, dude. Dean is totally up there. I'm sorry. Like, have you seen Dean's numbers on the internet?
yes, but I'm saying, celebrity politics, those kinds of people. You're still young,
Dean
younger.
is the largest left wing influencer for our generation.
Okay, but I'm talking about all of the people in Hollywood who have infinitely higher influence than the both of you. Can we talk about those kinds of people,
Wait,
the
but why
people
would
in
they let us
Hollywood?
have our level of influence?
Are you joking? Look at
Yeah,
how many Instagram followers you have. Look at how many Instagram followers the people I'm talking about have. Are you really comparing yourself to them?
I'm talking more about Dean. Dean has like 4 million followers on TikTok. He has multiple millions of followers on Instagram. Across his accounts, he has like over 6 million followers.
Right, because he
That's
says
that's
what
it.
most.
I want to just let you know that's an insane level of influence. They wouldn't just let someone have insane influence like that if it is the case that they control every aspect of our society. Like Dean, when he was literally doing a thing where he was like reacting to the president's speech, had like 70,000 people in a stream. That was more than practically every mainstream media source at the time.
Right, but if you just have to look at it from the perspective that there is an entire world of information that stays hidden because there's people working really hard to keep it hidden. So as long as you guys continue to not talk about those things, you're
Wait, not
doing
talk about
exactly
what?
what they want. There's a lot of things going on in this world, a lot of dark stuff
Yes.
that people don't talk
What
about.
do I not talk about?
Well, you know about, have you heard of Freemasonry?
Yeah.
What do you know about it?
It's commonly used as like some bull conspiracy in order to say that like the Illuminati controls the world. That's about it, to be honest with you. It's like a
So,
fraternity or brotherhood that people like associate with, or like they kind of like they build community there.
right. So you don't think life is a spiritual battle at all. You think that, what do you think happens when you die?
I have no clue.
You don't know. So you don't know, right?
Yeah.
But you've lived a long enough life in this world to know that there's good and there's bad, and there's people who fight against every logical sense of logic in their conscience to do evil because of selfish desires. And when there is the chance to do evil, to stay at the top, there's always going to be people that will take that opportunity to do that because they are influenced and they're deceived by Satan. That's just the reality.
Do you think I'm deceived by Satan?
No. I'm saying there's real evil in the world, that people at the very, 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 very top, the most evil, that,
Do you think Kamala Harris is influenced by Satan?
well, if she had really scary come to God moments of realizing how serious God's punishment is for those who it's not enough to not do evil. You have to stand against evil. So
Yeah, and
she's in
I'm asking you. She's standing against Trump. So like, if you'd like to talk about this, actually, can you name
Trump is
one way
not
that?
evil, but he
Wait,
is controlled.
can you name one way that Donald Trump stands against evil?
Um, I told you, all of these people are controlled. It's not that black and white like the good guys and the bad guys. The people at the very top, the people you don't see, Parker, the people we don't even know about or hear about, they control everything.
So why haven't you been kicked off the stream?
Because I'm speaking very generically. I'm not giving
But they control
examples,
everything.
right?
Why don't you give examples? I
I'm
promise you,
trying
you'll
to
give an
get to the
example and it
point.
won't kick
I'm
you.
answering your questions. You're asking me questions. I'm answering your specific questions.
Okay, can you give me an example of how they control people? Like what people are controlled? Are you saying everyone in media? Do you think Jon Stewart's controlled?
I don't know who that is, but
Daily
you
Show?
have. Isn't that the Ben Shapiro?
No,
No,
or
that's Daily
not?
Wire. Sorry. No, everybody, you would not be able to have a position at the top if you started speaking out against these things or bringing awareness. Only Twitter, if you spend enough time on it, you can find these access to
You
these.
know there are people that get
um,
banned from Twitter, right?
of course, remember there's hashtags that get banned, of course, Vali, but there's some things that there's some, of course, these people that they're deceived, their power, the feeling of power that they get is
How about
part
this?
of it. No,
Let's
no,
break
no,
it down to the
Parker,
bottom
listen.
parts. Okay.
Parker, part of the reason that they are deceived and they get this, high off of this power that they have is that they feel so powerful that all the good people and all the normal people in the world are like, oh my God, they're doing all of these bad things. There's nothing we can do. And they rub it in our faces. If you know what to look for, there are signs. And if that bad person who is influencing them, Satan, if he was enough to if he was really giving them what they needed and they were satisfied by him, they wouldn't need to rub in our faces the bad things they're doing. But he's not satisfying them. So they need to rub it in our faces to get off of that power edge that people are like, oh my God, no, you are so powerful, you're doing all of these things, and they rub it in our faces. If they wanted to keep it a secret, they could keep it a secret 100% easier, but they rub it in our faces because they like the feeling of people feeling helpless and people feeling like there's people so much higher than them and better than them.
Okay, so why they let Trump in power?
I told you. I
So Trump is
told
controlled?
Of course.
So then why do you support him?
I didn't really say I support him. I think Democrats are entirely evil, pushing,
Wait, so
you
so you
know,
don't support him. So if you could go back in time and you could either vote for Kamala Harris or Donald Trump, who would you vote for?
um, Trump, of course, because overall,
But you just said
the
that there's no
Republic,
distinction. You said that they're picked by the same
well,
people anyway, right?
Republicans are the lesser evil in this situation. But I'm aware when I'm voting
How?
for him, because 99% of the things that the Democrats stand for is completely evil, completely satanically influenced.
Okay, so what's satanic on behalf of what the Democrats like? What did Kamala Harris support in specific that is so demonic that means you disagree with it? And Brad, think of the $66 to get influenced, or
To
66 cents.
say
Sorry.
that absolutely is transgenderism at such a young age when children's brains are still developing, allowing them to make such permanent decisions.
Wait, I'm sorry. What about so just saying trans people exist and that it's okay to be trans?
No, the decisions that they made legal for such young children to
What
make of
decisions?
sex change.
No one's saying children are having sex changes. What?
They made it
Democrats
legal.
are
They
not
made,
saying that. And by the way, I just want to let you know, Democrats didn't put any funding into that at all. They didn't even talk about trans people. That's actually a critique I have of Democrats.
the
I
whole
think that I think that I
LGBTQ.
think that I think Democrats should have provided more defense for trans people. They
That's the
shouldn't have let the
problem.
right create a scapegoat of trans people, which is why you
That's the
think that like trans people
problem.
are demonic or something. That's crazy. Like I'm sorry,
Parker,
you've been misinformed to believe that trans people are like trying to influence children to be trans or like they're demonic or something or
No,
Democrats are trying to do this for
I'm a religious person, and logically speaking, even if you don't have the Holy Spirit, you can logically know that no one is greater than the person that who made every single thing in this universe. And what he says is the law. And he says man wearing women's clothing or woman wearing man's clothing is an abomination to him.
Okay, so then you think
Let alone
the founding
identifying.
so you think the founding fathers are an abomination for wearing makeup, wigs, and high
They are
heels?
human beings. They make mistakes. We can only count on
Wait,
one
so no,
person.
the founding fathers wearing heels, makeup, and wigs. Do you think that that specifically is like a sin?
See, Parker, you're smarter than these technicalities you bring. There's so
Wait,
much better
wait, no, hold on. I'm asking, is
routine.
that a sin? Is that a sin?
No, no, that's
No,
not the
so
sin
so
itself.
okay, again, so people who are biologically male wearing makeup, high heels, and wigs, like you have no issue with that, right?
It's in what context?
Does it matter?
Of
You
course
you
it
just said
matters
you just said it was sinful.
because I said man. It says in the Bible, man wearing woman's clothing, woman wearing
No,
man's
it wait,
clothing.
by the way, no, it doesn't. Where in the
Yes,
Bible? What verse? I can't hear you when you swipe out of the app, but let me know what verse.
it says it's an abomination to God.
Okay, so me when I was a kid, when I put on a dress, that was an abomination to God.
Yes, because you
Really?
don't, Parker, you don't understand the microscopic moments that influence your psyche and how you perceive yourself and the world in respect to yourself. You don't understand. It's
Dude,
your
you gotta be kidding me. You think, dude, I'm sorry. What did that have an influence over me? Me wearing a dress as a kid. Like what influence did that have over me?
because God made it very clear there are certain things for men and there are certain things for women. Okay, so men are always supposed to put women first and be gentlemen, and they're supposed to be stronger than the woman. They're supposed to be the head of
Hold
the
up, hold up. Is
household.
it by the way, so was it wrong for me to paint my nails?
Yeah, it's not. I'm not saying it's sinful, Parker. They're very
No, I'm just
we
asking,
don't
was it sinful for me to paint my nails?
no, not. You're speaking in very specifics
Isn't
and
that like
technicalities. I think you're smarter than that, Parker. We can talk about
no,
way way.
I think you're smarter than to say that people are engaging in a sin without providing the verse, right? Just for specifically
It is
wearing
a
things that
verse.
you consider
You won't
feminine,
let me come out of the
because
app.
that
If I
same
come out of the
notion
app, I can find you
didn't
the
Jesus
verse.
wait, like people are saying in the chat, didn't Jesus wear a dress?
Park. It was not a dress.
What's a
It was not a
dress?
dress. Once we reached a period in time where there's certain types of clothing meant for women and certain type of clothing meant for men, and then past that time period, you decide to go against that. That's sinful. But
Okay,
Parker, if
so
you really
if
want,
Jesus came down today and was wearing a dress, would you say that he's sinning?
He's not capable of sin. Anything he does
So
is
you're
not
saying he
sinful.
wouldn't be capable of wearing a dress?
He would never do that. There would be no
You're saying
kind of
he's not capable of
circumstances.
wearing. So
There
you're
would
saying
be
Jesus is
no,
not
there would
capable
be,
of wearing a dress.
there would be no circumstances to come about where he would do that.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just asking you. But is it impossible for him to wear a dress?
No, theoretically, of course, it's not impossible.
Okay, so he can wear a dress, right? So then, like,
Yes.
what would be the reason why he can't wear the dress?
So, Parker, it's about what you do and what you say, and the way that your actions and your choices represent your how.
What about if he wanted
say.
his hair to be long?
No, it's not. That's not sinful. That's preference. But
Wait, but like,
Parker,
don't you say that? Wait, that's preference, exactly. So like, what about wearing a dress? That's just preference. I like
No,
wearing, like, if a guy likes wearing dresses, what's wrong with that?
Parker, it's very clear that God has a purpose for man and a purpose for woman, and that they're very different. And you're not understanding. There's such bigger things that we can discuss instead of technicalities. I know you're a smart person. You're smarter than this. Just trying to
Don't
find these
insult me that
gotcha
way. That's
moments.
a really weak way of insulting me. It's not a good
I'm
argument.
not
It's not a good
insulting you.
argument to insult me that way. Like, you're just
Yes,
saying,
because
"Oh, you're smarter than
I'm
this."
not
That's
insulting you.
honestly
All
like
of these, all of
just like straight up
every single
gaslighting. Like,
thing,
you're acting like
every
I'm not
single
being smart
no.
right now. What?
Every single
You
time
just
I
said
try
you said that
I'm trying to bring up
you
a
said Democrats were trying to push demonic ideas onto children, and then you brought up something that wasn't even true. Okay? So like, don't talk about me not being smart specifically because you just disagree with me. That's incredibly embarrassing.
Parker, I'm saying every time I try to make a point leading to something greater than all of these technical questions, you try to lead me into these gotcha moments that I'm saying that you're smarter than doing that. Let's talk about actual bigger concepts, bigger ideas than these
Then you
little
bring it up. Then you bring it up.
things.
You're the one that talked about it.
You're the one that's asking me direct questions that I'm being forced to answer.
So
And
I'm
saying,
sorry, I can't ask her direct questions that she has to answer
I'm
in a
saying
debate
the
live. You know what I
questions
mean? Like,
you
I
ask
gotta
me,
stop asking questions. What should I do otherwise? What should I do? Let me know. Tell me what I can
I'm
do.
saying the types of questions you're asking me, instead of being more mature and allowing me to elaborate on these bigger concepts, you keep bringing me down to these, technical, you're saying this, you're saying that. All of those are technicalities that are obviously
So is it a question,
obvious
or is it me
answers. No,
clarifying
they're
what you're
obvious
saying?
answers. No, they're obvious answers. Everybody knows the answers to those questions. But
Then
you
you
don't
should
want
be
to
able to
talk about the
respond,
bigger
right?
things.
If they're obvious questions, simple questions, you should be able to respond
I
properly,
am
right?
answering them. I'm saying there are bigger things we can discuss.
Then bring them up and I'll discuss them.
Okay, great.
I feel like you're just using that to pivot and not address the points that I'm bringing up.
I am trying to pivot. I'm telling you this whole time there's bigger things I want to discuss than these
Then go for it.
small technicalities.
Go for it. Go for it.
Parker, my point is, logically, you have to start at realizing that life is a spiritual battle. I'm saying you have to start at the very, very basics. Basics which
Okay, let us know.
prove that life is a spiritual battle, and you can use logic to get to there. So obviously, nobody's expecting you to be super spiritual at the beginning. It's a process to reach higher levels of wisdom, but at the beginning, you don't have to emotionally get there. You logically get there. That's how I started. Logic, and then once the part of your brain that is purely logical fully accepts it, then the emotional side of your brain starts to accept it. So when you start with logic, who do you think that the world just came to be out of nowhere? No. There was a creator, and deep down, every single person knows that. Even the bad people, even the Satanists. Everyone knows that. They just think that they're going to beat God.
Lies.
Because
Why are you superimposing? This is disingenuous. I don't think that there is a God. I don't believe in a God. Why are you saying I do?
I'm saying deep
No,
down.
there's no deep
And
down anywhere within inside of me that I believe that.
It's not something you can access unless you do a lot of work.
That makes no sense. That means I don't believe it then. What does it mean? I don't think it to be. What is a belief?
Process.
What is a belief? What is a belief?
at the highest levels, it's something that believe with every part of your
What do
body,
you
and
mean by believe?
you
It's
accept
something you
to
think
be
to be
the
true.
truth.
You think it to be
Yeah.
true. Okay? If I don't think it to be true that a God exists, then how can you superimpose and say that I do? Like what? I
And
don't think that. I seriously, genuinely do not think that.
don't you hear about when people take this and it takes them to another realm that they are not able to access when they're sober? That's what it is.
So are you? So you're essentially saying that like someone's having like a delusion or like they're on drugs.
It's not delusion, it's a different way of seeing the world. It's you're able to access a frequency that you don't access otherwise.
Yeah, yeah. I just want to let you know, like when people take drugs, they don't assume that that's in reality always. Like for example, um, like do you think that that's like what they like if they hallucinate, for example? Do you think that that would be like something that's real that was actually there?
No, but I'm talking about the ego death, when they say they start to experience empathy that they never experienced before. That's what I'm talking about. When people say they have a whole new outlook on life that they didn't have before.
Okay, yeah, that's through an experience. No one's disputing that through an experience you can have a different type of outlook on life. Like, what's your point with this? Like, again, you that doesn't mean underlying you did believe that already. That makes no sense.
Parker, but let's say you don't believe in the spirituality. Okay, let's
I
say
don't.
that. Okay.
So then why were you superimposing
So
it? That was disingenuous. That was actually like I hate when people do that because I think it's so disingenuous. You say everyone believes in this
we're
religion.
agreeing
No,
to
no, we don't.
disagree. I'm not saying you believe. Of course you don't believe that yet. I'm saying everybody has the capability that if you go down
That's not
that
what you were
path,
saying. You were saying deep down
I was
everyone
saying
believes
that.
this.
Yeah, I was saying everybody has the capability. If you decide to commit
That's not what
yourself
you
to
were
going
saying.
on that path, I was trying to get there. I said
Sure,
it's
but
a
this is an
process.
irrelevant conversation. Why are you just telling me you can believe in religion? Like that's totally irrelevant to why you support Trump.
Okay, yeah, if you want to bring everything back to Trump, yeah. But what I'm saying is let's say that you don't believe in let's say you don't believe in, spirituality in that side of life. Don't Haven't you seen evil and heard of evil with your own eyes? Don't you think it's ridiculous that people are carrying on with their lives talking about such trivial things when there are little girls being found under like rubble with their arm ripped off or something? Doesn't that prove to you that evil is real?
Wait, I talk about that on my live stream. I talk about the fact that there are
I'm
children being
not shaming
there are
you.
people being in
You're,
Palestine, right? It
I'm
is the
not
case that
shaming
women,
you.
children, and men that are innocent are being. I talk about that on the live stream. I bring attention to that. Those are things that I talk about on this live stream.
Isn't it crazy to imagine that reality can look so different for two human beings that were made equal at the same time? That reality, one person is picking out what shade wall they want, what shade this they want, what kind of food they want, when one person can't even get food and one person is suffering a terrible injury. It's really sobering. It's if you really think about it, it's a huge reality check, and it just proves to you that life is a battle between evil and good. That's what it proves to you. And so once you accept that there's people. I don't know if you've seen Harry Potter, but
Hmm.
in the it's based on Abrahamic lore. It's based on the origin story of the world, that there's good people and there's bad people, Satan is real, God is real, all of that stuff. And in the first one, you see Voldemort when he comes face to face with Harry Potter. He tells him that he's trying to convince him that there's no such thing as good and evil in the world, only power and those willing to
What are
take
we?
it.
What conversation are we even having right now? Like, what are we doing? Yeah, in Star
I'm
Wars, there's the evil and the good. There's the Jedi and there's the Sith. Okay, it's a story about the fight against evil. That's like 99% of stories. Okay, I get it. How is this relevant to like you supporting Trump?
Because, Parker, do you believe in justice? Don't you believe that justice is the truth? Don't you believe
I
that
believe
justice?
by when I say I believe in justice, right? I believe that like it should undergo like we should undergo justice. That's not relevant to why you support Trump. Why do you support Trump?
Okay. Well, Okay, if you want to talk about that stuff, then I'm not the guest for you. But I was leading to,
What?
I was going
This
to
is
something.
totally irrelevant to the. Wait, I'm sorry. Did you just come up onto my live to not talk to me about the topic at all?
Well, it's all part of a
No, it's
huge
not. This has no
umbrella.
relevancy to the topic. We haven't even name a policy of Trump's you like.
I like that Christians have the right to practice their beliefs,
Yeah,
whereas in
you
Israel,
have the
they
right to
don't.
practice your beliefs if Kamala Harris were president as well. What are you talking about? You think
But
Christians won't have rights in America if Kamala Harris is president?
he's more supportive of Christians than the Democrats are. The Democrats
In
make
what
it.
way?
The Democrats make it. Under the Democrats, you can criticize America. You can criticize
You can criticize
anything.
America under Trump as well. We're currently under
Right.
Trump right now criticizing
You
America.
can step on an American flag, but you can't do that to an Israeli flag. You can't
Wait,
do
wait,
half
wait.
of the things.
So, by the way, both sides, it's legal to do that under the Biden-Harris administration. If you want to reference the Trump administration wants to make it illegal to burn the American flag. He already passed an executive order to do that. That's a violation of the First Amendment. Do you not care about the Constitution?
But he hasn't gotten it done, right? But he does have time to get done is all of the punishments for people who are against Israel and against Zionism. That's what he has time for. But all of the stuff for America comes second.
So, are you making a critique of Trump?
Yes.
Why? Okay.
I'm
Are you
telling
actually?
you,
It
he's
doesn't sound like you're a Trump
controlled.
supporter.
Every time you ask me these questions, it all comes back to the bigger concept that he's controlled.
That's not one. That's not evidence that he's like necessarily controlled. That means he just has a horrible position.